have a quorum, so we're gonna just suspend the rules and go that route. All right? And how many people?
Oh, that's so cute.
4 people online right now, right?
Yeah, maybe replace the trial or something.
Greetings. Good evening. I will call the regular, where are we in, July now? July meeting to order for the RTM. I'll turn it over to Town Clerk for roll call.
Okay. Representative Adam? Here. Bailey? Burrell? Here. Casper? Dinshinbrock? I believe I saw her online. DeGraffenwright? Here. Dutton? Fitzgerald? Fritchie? Here. Fox?
Here.
Frickman?
Recording in progress.
Frickman? Gardner A?
Here.
Garner M?
Here.
Gibbs?
Here.
Hume?
Here.
Johansson?
Here.
Cadden?
Here.
Linder? Luck? Massett? Matter?
Here.
McElroy?
Here.
Norman?
Here.
Norris?
Here.
Aubrey? Perella?
Here.
Powers K? Powers S? Pulaski?
Here.
Swindell?
Here.
Omritz? V.C. Williams? Watson?
Here.
Wells?
Here.
Whitney?
Here.
And moderator,
I'm here.
24.
Yep.
Better setup.
Got a good count here. 24 members present. We have a quorum. Agenda item B, moment of silence and salute the flag. We could all just stand and. Town Councilor Good, ex officio member of this body, could you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, on to item C, approval of minutes. If there are no additions, revisions, omissions, deletions, or whatnot, we will approve these minutes. All right, we have approved the minutes. All right, public petitions. This is the portion of the RTM agenda where RTM welcomes comments from the public. Each presentation should be limited to no more than 5 minutes or less as directed by the moderator, and if possible, submit written comments. Presentations should be limited to matters pertinent to the town of Groton. The moderator or members through the moderator shall ask questions in order to clarify the speaker's presentation. Responses may be given by the moderator and/or by the town manager. Individuals should state their name and address for the record, and if they wish to speak virtually, please register by emailing council@groton-ct.gov no later than 4 p.m. on this day of the meeting. Anyone online, Town Clerk? No. Anyone on the list? Is there anyone here that wishes to speak? Very well. We're going to move on to receipt of communications. It was with a heavy heart that we got a resignation from RTM member Good from District 4. However, he has been elevated in his status to town councilor, filling the seat that was vacated by now State Rep Gajewski. He is in the audience today, and I'd like to say again, thank you very much for your service, and we wish you well in your new endeavors. So, thank you. Lynn Crockett Hubbard notified. Also, Powers K&S notified that they would not be here for this meeting. I didn't have any other ones, so, and I believe Representative Dutton is now in transit back to the east, right? She out of country now?
Yes, she is.
All right, okay, so I would assume that, not here. Okay, okay, we're moving on. Oh, unless there's any communications from the body, excuse me. Yes?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I've had many constituents who I've heard from concerning coyotes in the SB Butler and Judson Avenue neighborhoods. There's been an unusually high number of coyotes around these areas, and most people I've talked to have actually seen them out themselves in the broad daylight. So I have seen them myself, and people are concerned, especially for pet owners and people with small children. So just wanted to bring that to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Representative Gibbs, I guess the one recommendation I can make as a novice animal catcher is to call animal control if they happen to see any wild varmints that may be out and about, especially during the daytime when, you know, they may or may not have some sort of rabies or something like that. So if there's anybody in town that has issues with that, please feel free to call animal control and they'll lead you in the right direction. All right. Any other communications? Again, just as a note, I've been watching the town council meetings and the COW meetings. There's been a lot of updates and things going on regarding Pleasant Valley property, open space and parks in District 4. So if you want to get more information on that, please feel free to look at the previous meetings for the town council. And if you have any questions about may or may not have heard, I would direct you to the mayor of Groton, as well as the town manager, John Burt. Okay? Any other communications? All right, thank you. Okay, report for the town manager will be forthcoming. He had notified me that he was going to be absent this evening, so he will be moving or giving us the report toot sweet. With economic development, Town Manager Burr also let me know that they will be doing a presentation here for us for the RTM as a whole in September. So we will get an update on what's happening with economic development within the town. All right. And if you had any questions on economic development, I would direct you to Town Manager Burr, and he can get those answers for anybody in this body. All right, I'm going to turn it over to our superintendent, Susan Austin. She's going to come with us and give us an update. I believe that all of us have received the presentation via email prior to this meeting.
Were we going to put it up here?
I'm going to leave it to the tech gurus to do that if we know how to do that.
I sent it to Sean Greeley. I mean, I could forward it to you.
I'll take care of it.
How's everyone?
Good.
It's
How
good to
are
be
you?
here, and it's not just budget season. And school's out for the summer, but it's really not, because every school is filled with children. There are camps, there are STEM camps, there's, at Fitch High School, we have a summer school program, and I have a whole classroom filled with 10th, 11th graders taking double math classes, Algebra 2 honors, and geometry, so they can take A, B, B, C, calculus by the time they're seniors. Says the math major herself. I am so proud of these kids. I'm telling you. And then there's some who need credit recovery, and even in our middle school, if they have failed a core area, core subject, math, English, social studies, science, they have got to come. You know, we say you come to summer school, and there are teachers there who help teach them. There's also some technology programs that help pre-test them, so the things they already know, they kind of go through, and the things they need to learn, they learn. And we've really had a great success rate with these kids. There were some who completed their coursework like within the first 3 weeks, and we have about 3 weeks to go. And between the enrichment and, the credit recovery, they'll be better off, because we know that 9th graders, if they don't pass, they're less likely to graduate. And so we have to start like when they're little, but especially in middle school, it's not okay to fail. So, you know, we really set the standards high, and we're getting results, but it was really exciting. Today, I went to Charles Barnum, and they have a STEM camp that's run by Christy Post, the assistant principal, and Ben Moon, who's our K-5 STEM coordinator. And they had, EB has brought out with EastCon, their mobile manufacturing lab. It is like an incredible thing. We had it at Groton Middle School, and today we had it at the STEM camp. And we had kids doing the sea perch, which is the submarine robotics, and it was doing the dive, and it was, you know, submerging, and the kids were doing welding, they were doing pipe fitting in this thing. It was just extraordinary and so engaging. Girls and boys, you know, they were really more the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders who were participating. And our middle school has too, and I saw some of the people that have partnered with us from EB. We've gotten to know each other pretty well. And I said, can I have this at every school next year? And he said, absolutely, Susan, we'll get them to every single one of your schools. So between that and the GO program, elementary, middle school, and high school, and some of our high schoolers getting jobs at EB before they graduate, because they've done this boat program, and then they get into the trades and they get training. It's just, our kids have so many opportunities these days. You know, the career pathways are alive and well, and they're growing again. I don't know why we ever let them go. We called it college and career. We forgot about the career part, but we're right back in the saddle with really having kids find out what they're good at and what they love to do. And so, you know, it's a really, really good place to be here in Groton. And after 45 years, it hadn't gotten old for me. I'm still teaching. Thank you, Sean.
Thank-
Do you want me to do a clicker, or? I'm glad you got it electronically, because I'll show you at the end. We have what I call a School Matters newsletter that goes out. I try to get it out 3 or 4 times a year. And the one that's on there is the final, and there's actually a video of all of our kids during the school year and the graduates, and so it's really a neat little piece that families all received.
Yeah, I could do that for you, if you don't mind.
Or you want to bring it to me and I'll do it?
Oh, sure. What did I do? Don't get me in front of a computer. I'm just, who do I need to go full screen again? Oopsie, should have just left it up to the.
Hang on.
I blew it, guys, sorry.
Technology, love it when it works, right?
There you go.
And just the arrow, forward arrow, forward arrow. All right, okay, I'm ready.
That's a page that I need, so you can move it right
Boom.
onto that budget.
All right,
So, our budget for FY '26, as you might recall, was in the $92 million range, which is a big number. It was reduced $2.3 million, and it was a real challenge. I'll show you how challenging it was on the next page. I'm also gonna have to monitor it super carefully as we go through the year, because electric bills have gone up, there's talk of tariffs and this and that, so we're just not sure where expenses will land. There's a little bit of holdout on some of the title funds, but Title I isn't touched for Groton, which is a good thing. It looks like adult ed might have been zeroed out for every town in Connecticut, but we're still waiting to hear more about that. But we have a plan even if something has happened to that. So I would say that right now we're kind of closing the FY '25. The auditors have already been in contact, which is really good when they get here in the summer, that we can start on that process. And then we're uploading the FY '26 and have a new finance director, Rita Petcharga, and she's here now with us, and she's wonderful. She was in Wyndham, Connecticut for like 2 decades, so she really knows school finance, and she's done every level of business in the business department, so she's one of those who's boots on the ground and working side by side with our department. It's been terrific. So we're doing orders and supplies for the new year, and the town review continues, but I'm hearing that it's almost coming to an end. So that would be good news. So that has taken some time as well. But this page kind of sums up when you look at what the reductions were. And then there were a few additions that the board had really considered with a social worker. NEA and CB did not have a social worker, so it was really important that those 2 schools had that. Sorry. And special educator, our numbers have really escalated, and that through a child's IEP is required by law, and as is the para if it's in their IEP. 5 tutors for intervention positions for mathematics, and we put in a DODEA grant for mathematics as well at $1.250 million. I'm waiting to hear about that. And that would give us tutors in mathematics in every single one of our schools, which is great. And then contingency for negotiations. We just completed negotiations with maintenance, tech, secretaries, custodians, and we're getting ready to do the teachers union. So we have a busy summer this summer. And then I just wanted to tell you that there's been a lot of celebrating at the end of the year. It's a really fun time. And we had underclassmen and senior awards nights, which were spectacular. We had the Fitch NJROTC change of command, which is quite a celebration and exciting. We're looking to even grow our numbers, and if we grow the numbers enough, then the government actually will pay for the teacher. So we're hoping that that will happen. Groton Middle School had their promotion. It ended up being rainy, so we were in the auditorium, but Fitch was finally outdoors for their graduation, so that was good. And every 5th grade has a promotion. So there were a lot, if you saw the Fitch High School class of 2025, they were an extraordinary group of kids. And there were scholarships and honors and cords, and I'm gonna be writing about that, and I hope you get my weekly update and are able to look at that, but I am gonna put a section in on what this class has done and where they're going, the places they'll go, because they're going. And I said a lot of them have gotten free rides to UConn and to other schools, so it's been really impressive. And then we have this partnership with Electric Boat, and they really see that they really want to work with us and have a manufacturing center in Groton in the old auto shop. We have a wood shop and an auto shop. And so we're looking at plans. We're starting to clean out that auto shop and find out other places for snow blowers and such things, right, Sam? And so that we can really make this a viable, and then bring our robotics team back. Our robotics team right now is in Pleasant Valley, and we know that that's ready to, so we've got to find a new home for them, and I want them close to home. I want them in the high school, where they can really take courses in robotics and do the robotics after school and all of that. So this, and I had told you about the program that they have, the boat and the STEM camp, and there's some pictures of this mobile unit that comes around to the schools. And another couple things that happened, we have the career pathways, as I said, and they're very popular. As a matter of fact, the nursing program is so popular that it has doubled the numbers, and I think we have about 16, 18 kids, but there were kids we had to turn down. So, you know, that's always a hardship, but the kids are getting certified, and then they might be going off to nursing or to do something in healthcare. And then, of course, field days. How many of you remember those field days? Those are lots of fun. And then we have, you know, thinking about academics, the arts, athletics, STEM, and leadership, all of those things are available for our kids. And we support our military-connected kids and all of our kids, and, you know, it's really a proud place to serve those who serve when you're in Groton. And Fitch High School, here's a little bit of tidbit that it's not out officially, but we're starting to see results, and when it is, I will be proud to show it to you. But our SAT and NGSS scores for 11th graders have seen a real improvement, AP, IB, career pathways, the participation rate is almost doubled what I saw about 4 years ago during COVID, and the success rate, kids are all taking that test, and a lot of times they didn't want to take the test for AP, but they're taking the test and they're passing. And, you know, even if they take the course, they take the test and they get a 2, it readies them for college and it readies them for their future. So I'm just so proud of our kids for really tapping each other on the shoulder and say, you know, come and do this with me. So, and then summer programming. This tells a story too. Every single one of our schools is up there and has a viable, wonderful program. I talked about Fitch High School and the summer school. Groton Middle had 2 weeks of STEAM, because it had the arts and it also had some core instruction. Northeast Academy and Thames River Northeast has the town rec camp, and Thames River has the city rec camp. And then Mystic River has our ESY, which is our extended school year program for special needs children, and the camp button in the afternoon for kids. And CK has our own treehouse program, which is our before and after school program, and even on vacation time. So it really allows families, working families, to have before and after and have their kids in each one of our schools. But it's housed at CK for the summer. We also had a robotics week, and this week was a STEM week at CB. So it's really pretty much fun. And a superintendent loves summertime because you go from camp to camp instead of school to school. And then I have to do a shout out for my central office staff. You know, they work all year long, and during budget season, I don't think I would have made it without my team at central office, my directors, and coming together when we lost a finance director, and we pulled it together to come in with a 6.5% budget. And I would just say that we were, you know, we all teamed up, and that's the way this department works. Everybody works hard, and then working with the board, who spent hours and hours on that budget, you know, we were able to get to where we needed to be. And then HR, hiring, onboarding, finance, I told you all about what they're doing with several different budget years. And teaching and learning, there's curriculum and professional learning. Technology, our Chromebooks, we're either fixing them, replacing them, making sure that when kids come back, all 6th through 12th graders will have a Chromebook that's working. And that's really important, and they take it home. And, you know, planning and preparation is underway, because pretty soon, guess what? Those little yellow school buses will come around again, and they'll be getting on them and getting off. So, and that happens as early as the 22nd of August is when we come back for convocation. And the kids will start arriving on August 27th. So that's our kind of looking back a little bit and looking forward. But I'm here if you have any questions. A big thank you. If you click on that Groton Public Schools link, I don't know if you can click on that. You can kind of just see the School Matters. And if you scroll down, and it has all kinds of articles. It's got that little videotape, which is really kind of fun, and messages, and lots of different pictures.
And this is all on the
This is all
Board of
on
Ed
whatever
website, Groton Public
and it's
Schools
also
website.
on the website, but
Okay.
it's attached, so if they wanted to look at it, they've got it, a copy of it.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
So just trying to keep everybody informed and share my enthusiasm. This is a really wonderful place, and I'm proud to serve here. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Superintendent Austin. Again, a lot of great information. All right, I'm good. Yeah, I just open up the floor for any questions from the RTM, if they have any. Yes, Representative Swindell.
I don't have a question, but I'd like to thank Superintendent Austin for this presentation. I think it behooves the elected representatives, RTM and council, to know what happens when budgets are cut. And thank you for being so detailed and so positive.
Thank you. And I'm happy to do it. Like, we've talked about doing this more often. And I came in the fall, and I think several times in the winter, but it was all about budget.
Yes.
But I like to share the news of all the things happening in the school, so you kind of understand where the money's being spent.
I'm going to recognize our ex officio member, Counselor Merritt.
Yes, I would like to add a remark to Susan Austin about her program and the fact that I have a grandson out in Northwestern University that has just tested out halfway into his second year, and he hasn't finished the first year yet. This is an allowable program that really allows a student to advance. And I spoke to a friend of mine whose grandson just graduated from Groton Tech in the EB welding program. Before he was done, they said, "You're hired.
Yep.
When can you start?"
Right?
And he said, "Well, a little bit of summer and this." They said, "Fine, you tell us and we'll put you to work."
That's right. That's what's happening.
That's how it's going.
Yep. And they don't have this kind of, ours is going to be a machine shop at Fitch. And they don't have that. We've gone to Coventry, Rhode Island, where they've done the very same thing, and they've helped get them the grants and do all the work. And I'm just so excited about this. This is why I can't retire yet. I have a few more things on my list to do.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I'd have to also agree with Town Councilor Merritt. You know, my youngest just graduated Grasso in drafting, and again, he's already got that offer ready to go to start. But as you already said, summer looks like fun, so he'll wait until the fall before he gets started. So, even what you mentioned as well, those AP and IB classes, for those who don't know, you can test out and you end up earning college credits even before you go to college, which is very helpful, especially when folks are on a tight budget to try to, get a college education.
And seals of biliteracy, we have a lot of kids who come and speak another language. So they can be bilingual right away, and we assess that. And they can be trilingual. And we had more awards for this seal of biliteracy. Like, I would say there were like 50 of them. And, that could be 8 credits at Southern Connecticut State University, a seal. So really good stuff for kids.
Is there any other questions from the RTM membership? I see Representative Norris, your hand is up.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask the superintendent, is she aware of any programs that the school district collaborates with town departments? For example, the recreation department?
Do you have any collaboration with any town departments in any work study or volunteerism or anything to that nature?
We have talked about internships, so Representative Norris, I will take you up on that and make that connection. I know that our colleagues were going to be talking about this Wi-Fi project, but that's a liaison collaborative between my staff, at the school level, Dr. Clint Kennedy, and the town side, and you're going to hear about that. And they have done some really good work. So I think the more we can do together, or put our brains together to get some of these grants and to do this work, I think the better off it's going to be. We used to have a liaison group with the city council, the town council when I first arrived in the RTM.
Yep.
And we talked a lot about doing some work together. So, but that is a good idea for thinking about internships. We've used some of our partnerships in the companies, the EB and Pfizer, but to think about the town departments is also a good idea.
Okay. Rep. Perella?
Just want to comment how proud I am of you, Superintendent Austin, because we had a kind of a tumultuous budget year with all the unknowns, and now you have shown some concrete data to the body and to the public in the council of what really is happening and the importance of every dollar that is spent. And I know, being in the systems myself, those Chromebooks and the quality of the teachers and the excitement of the teachers and the quality of the school buildings and making sure that they're ventilated and heated and the proper special ed students are taken care of is so critical. And you juggling the transfer or the nurses and all this stuff that you were presented with, it's amazing what you have done. And I'd like to
didn't do it by myself.
Well, a group of people, yeah. And it's really important for the community. So and this is the result that you will get, is what you just showed us. So it's very important for the future.
And I think it's important for me to come to the town bodies to explain what's happening and what we're doing, because I think that gives you insight when it comes to budget season.
I'd also like to add to the town clerk, would we be able to put this presentation in the agenda for this meeting, just so the public could see it as well?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
It was a pleasure. Okay, thank you.
Unless there was other questions, I'm sorry. I think you found your exit. There you go. Okay. On to our next agenda items. I believe there was only one committee that was supposed to meet. However, they did not have a quorum. So we're going to do what we've done many a times in this body. And I'm going to entertain a motion to suspend the rules to act on the two agenda items, 2025-643 and 2025-620, which is eliminating our provision, RTM Rule 6.5.3.
Second.
All right. Moved by Burrell, seconded by Pulaski. Sounds good. All right. This is not debatable. We need a 2/3 majority vote in order to suspend the rules. We have 24 members present still, or we have more than that now? We have 25. Fitzgerald's here? Oh, no, Dean Shinbrod's here.
No, Fitzgerald, we were
Okay.
finally able to move her.
All right, gotcha. All right,
So
so
we need 17.
we have 25 members, so we would need 17 members in the affirmative. This is not debatable, so we're just going to call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Are there any abstentions? All right, motion carries unanimously to suspend the rules 25-0. All right? Was out of order, sorry. All right, so we're going to first start with item 2025-643. I'll read the resolution and entertain a motion when I'm done. Resolution approving funding for the Charles Barnum Elementary School roof replacement. Whereas the Charles Barnum Elementary School roof is beyond its 20-year life expectancy and is in need of replacement now, therefore be it resolved, the Groton Town Council approves $1 million in funding from the town's capital reserve fund for the Charles Barnum Elementary School roof replacement project, and to refer this item to the town's RTM for approval per RTM Rule 6.5.3. All right, thank you. All right. Motion was moved by DeGraff and Wright, seconded by Norman. I'll open up discussion on this motion. For those who are not aware, we have already done this. We already approved this a long time ago, but due to the state changing verbiage, we have to resubmit and reapprove this whole expenditure. So this is money that's already been allocated. It's not coming out of this year's budget. It's already been approved by us, RTM members, in our previous budget session. Any discussion on this? All right, seeing none, I'll call for a vote on 2025-643, Charles Barnum Elementary School roof replacement. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, please say no, or raise your hand. Abstain? Okay. All right. So the count is 24-0-0 with one recusal, town clerk, okay? Perella being the recusal. There we go. We got you right. All right, moving on. Our next and final agenda item that we have to act upon today is 2025-620, CEN Community Wi-Fi Grant. And I'll read the resolution and someone can make that motion and second. Resolution to approve grant funding in the amount of $195,556 from the Connecticut Education Network, CEN, Broadband Infrastructure Programs Community Wi-Fi Grant Program, whereas the town and the Board of Education jointly have applied for grant funding in the amount of $195,556 to expand Wi-Fi access across town. And whereas public Wi-Fi coverage will be expanded at the community center, town hall, human services, library, and senior center, expanding both indoor and outdoor coverage. And whereas Wi-Fi access will also be expanded from the school district to cover community areas in Branford Manor, which houses approximately 330 students. And whereas any grants over $10,000 must also be approved by the town's RTM. Now therefore be it resolved that the town council authorizes the town manager or his designee to apply for and execute any and all documents and receive grant funding in the amount of $195,556 from the Connecticut Education Network, CEN, Broadband Infrastructure Programs Community Wi-Fi Grant Program, and refer the matter to the RTM per Rule 6.5.3.
So moved. Second.
All right, moved by Adams, seconded by DeGraffenreidt. I have Director of IT Spellman here. If there's any questions regarding this issue, does anybody have any questions regarding this grant? It's a grant. It's not coming out of pocket. We're not paying any additional in taxes.
There's no match.
No match. So it's what we call free. Well, you know, we all know nothing in life is free. I got it. All right. But I open up the floor if anybody has any questions. Yes, Representative Wells.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know, how does this differ from what we have now?
It's an expansion on what we have now. So it's in addition to what we have now. We're going to be expanding coverage in a variety of places.
Okay, because it said town-wide. I assume that means, you know, between here and the library and a few other places, but not exactly up in the woods.
No. Currently, on the town side, the expenditures are to improve Wi-Fi here inside the Thrive 55 Living Center, outside the building, pointed towards the pickleball courts, outside the library, and to improve some of the coverage inside the library. We plan on putting access points outside the community center, facing the fields and the parking lot, outside the human services building, and then expanding some coverage inside the town hall.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions for Director of IT?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Yes, Rep. Norris.
So do you have an idea what the annual service fee will be for this? And if there's a contract that's associated, and what will happen with that cost at the end of the contract?
So the service fees involved in this are the yearly licensing for the access points. I don't anticipate spending more than $2,000 annually to continue that maintenance, with inflation, obviously. But it's a negligible cost on the town side for maintenance.
Even at the end of the contract, you only project roughly $200 a month?
So the licensing for our access points per device is approximately $90 per year right now. So adding around, I don't have the count on me, but our current budget is around $4,800, I think, for what we have now. So I don't anticipate adding that much more to this renewal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other discussion on the motion on the floor? Very well. Seeing none, I'll call for a vote on 2025-620 CEN Community Wi-Fi Grant. The amount is $195,556. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no and raise your hand. Or raise your hand. Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much. All right, and thank you, Director Spellman. All right, that concludes, unless there's any other committees that had meetings that I didn't know about, but I think we didn't have any more meetings, I'm going to move on to liaison reports. Representative Wells, is there any update from golf time?
No, this next meeting is in September.
September, okay. Thank you very much. All right, any other liaison reports? I know Rep. Obrey isn't here, so she usually has one for economic development. But as I mentioned already, there's going to be an economic development Director Reiner and his group will come and give an update to us in September. All right, item K, budget discussion. This is the time to talk about budget. Any budget discussion items? Any budget? Okay. Seeing none, I'm going to move along. Other business. Any other business? Any other business? I don't have any. I thought I had some, but I don't.
I'll ask a question.
Yes, Representative Ritchie. You just need a microphone, though. I can't hear you.
Well, I was hoping you couldn't hear me. I had this funny situation where people said that there's hundreds of millions of dollars apparently that are owed to Groton because they were underpaid by the state of Connecticut over the last few years. Is there any truth in that you're aware of?
I would have to ask where you're getting your source material first.
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Then I couldn't comment on, I couldn't comment on that. What I would say, Representative Fritchie, if there is some information that you can provide, I know the town manager would be happy to look into it for you.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll try and put it together where it was. It was told to me to be a very legitimate, absolute thing that's going to happen. So,
I looked under the podium after you asked that question, and I didn't see any money there. So,
well, I get first dibs.
okay. All right, any other business? Yes, Representative Pulaski.
The reason Representative Dudden was not here is that she couldn't get logged on from Singapore and seems to be being blocked on our website.
Okay.
Even when she uses a VPN in Arizona, it still is thinking she's in Singapore where she is.
Okay, well, thank you for notifying us, and we'll put it in there for the record as well. All right, any other business? All right, again, I said this to my caucus, but I will say it to everyone else. If there's no agenda items that are pressing in nature for next meeting, we're going to cancel August meeting, and we'll meet back up in September, unless there's something that we would have to do, like today, to authorize expenditures and grants so that they can do their job. So that's it. Other than that, I got agenda item M, if anybody wants to entertain a motion.
Motion
So
to adjourn.
Second.
All right, motion to adjourn by Adams, seconded by Pulaski. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, everybody enjoy the summer. Enjoy Sail Fest or whatever it is that's happening on. Be careful and safe.